Casey to Excelsior. I have landed safely on the planet TRAPPIST-1D. I am exploring the coastal highlands around Cape Sagan in the northern continent. The lichen jungles stretch for miles upon miles to my south, while the nutrient-rich polar ocean currents break against the shore to my north. I am standing on a boulder atop a mountain ridge overlooking small chitin wooden valleys as far as the eye can see, each of which is separated to form its own unique micro-ecosystem. I expect to find life forms here entirely new to science. I'll report back when I gather more data. Casey out. Oh, great Scott. No need to be scared. Hello. Soft exoskeleton, fiber network running under the skin, characteristic of fibroderms. So why is your body plan more characteristic of hexapods than octopods? Could be convergent evolution. New species for sure. Maybe even a new... No. Solar flare activity. I've got to find shelter in 5 minutes or...
Casey? Casey, you're making a lot of noise. Who on earth are you talking to?
Myself? I'm sorry, I didn't know I was being loud.
It's not that. Well, it is that. I'm on the phone with Linda, and it's really hard to hear her when you're shouting about solar flares. It's just, don't you have a math test to be studying for?
I was studying, and then I got distracted.
Casey, you love space so much. How hard could it be to learn a bit of math so that you can study it one day? You still want to be an engineer, right? Work at NASA like you and Dad always dreamed?
Well, yeah. But it's so hard.
Then you just have to push through. Talk about this later, okay, Case? Good. You can do it.
Mom, no hugs, remember?
Right. Sorry about that, Linda. No, it's Casey. Yep. Again. I don't know. I'm just at the end of my rope, you know? I must have read every book ever written on parenting an autistic child, and I still feel like I don't understand a single thing that goes on in her head. You know, she won't even let me hug her anymore. Yeah, and she's been saying lately that she wants me to start using they, them pronouns for her. So instead of calling her a her, she wants me to call her a them. Yeah, I know it doesn't make any sense, and I tried to tell her, or them, or whatever, that I've always used they to refer to more than one thing, and they're just one person, and it confuses me. And then she acts like I'm in the wrong for being confused. I know. I know. Well, hey, at least it's not as hard as trying to understand all that space science is always going on about. I know, it's literally rocket science. It's almost like I'm talking to her dad again. Hey, you remember that time his friend came over to visit? That one from the observatory in Hawaii? And he and Casey were just in the living room talking for hours. You know, after he came up to me and he said, "Man, that daughter of yours is smarter than some of the people I work for. She could work at NASA one of these days." Sure, he was only joking, but God, wouldn't that be amazing? To have a daughter... a non-binary child working at NASA? Mark would be so proud. I just wish it was easier to get through to her. You know, she hasn't been applying herself, and I'm worried the work is starting to scare her off. What? No, of course she still wants to. What? She never shuts up about outer space. Yes, I've asked her, and she's never said no.
Maybe it wouldn't be so hard to use they, them if you tried, even just a little bit. Of course I want to work for NASA, don't I? To explore strange new worlds and seek out new life. And yeah, maybe I'll even get to see aliens in my lifetime. There've got to be some in the solar system, right? Europa, Enceladus, Titan, Mars. Any one of them could be inhabited, and I could help find the life forms that live there. I'll never get to go there. I'll never get to reach out and touch an alien. I'll never get to watch an alien take its first steps. That deer on Galliano. Never get to hold one. No, sometimes I don't believe things are real unless I can touch them. Is that weird? It's like the whole world is on the other side of a sheet of glass, like I'm in a spacesuit. And then someone hugs me, and all of a sudden it's too much, and I thought I wanted to be held, but maybe I am an alien. I used to think so when I was little, that I was adopted from Pluto. It made sense. The foods of this planet are hard to digest, as though my digestive system was made for a completely different biosphere. There's noise and strange smells everywhere that make it difficult to think. Even the people are totally alien. The way they think is incomprehensible. They live their lives by a set of bizarre, unexplained rules that they expect you to know without ever having been told. For instance, they divide the population up into 2 categories, girls or boys, based on certain body types. And their entire society seems based around that 2-gender assumption to an extent that's nonsensical. You're expected to go on dates with people, even though older people warn you against it. And participate in elaborate courtship rituals where nobody tells you the rules, and your partner gets hurt or offended if you make the slightest mistake. Socialization takes the form of loud, overstimulating parties with bright lights and blaring music and flirting and drinking. And if you can't do it all right, no one gives you the chance to try again. I've been studying this planet now for 15 years, and I'm so tired. I want to go somewhere else. Somewhere I can create in my mind. Somewhere that's mine. Somewhere I'm home. How the fuck am I supposed to do that, cooped up in an office at NASA running calculations? Why would I want that? I can't do this. Excelsior, requesting a transwarp transport. Set coordinates for Titan. It's cold on Titan. Minus 179 degrees Celsius. 100 degrees colder than Antarctica. So cold that the rocks are made of water and the seas are made of liquid methane. It might be too cold to support life. No one knows if it even could. But if it did, oh, ow, flying creatures, not unlike the jellies that live in Earth's oceans. I could build one of these. I could build it tonight. I could build a whole world. I could...
Casey! Get back to work, Casey! You're acting like a child, Casey! Stop being weird, Casey!
Hello. What sort of creature are you then? You seem to be trying to communicate. You must be intelligent then. Fascinating. Maybe this is how I can figure it out. How to establish first contact. How would I try to talk to you like this? Like a xenobiologist. Communication with the life form has been difficult. Whenever I try to tell it who I am or what I want, it either doesn't understand or doesn't listen. So I stopped trying. Ever since I was little, you've been telling me what to do. You've been trying to make me follow your rules. Even when those rules hurt me, you've been hurting me. But it's been taking you so much time and effort to do it. Why would you put so much energy into hurting me? What reason could there be? You're not trying to hurt me. You're trying to help me. The only way you know how, but we're aliens to each other. What would be right for you isn't right for me. I need you to understand that what I wanted when I was younger isn't what I want now. I'm not the same person I was back then or thought I was. And I'm not my dad either. You don't have to hold my hand everywhere I go. I can figure it out. I can figure out what I want. Just trust me. Please. Listen to me. And trust me. Please.